Yo, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back. Today we got some special, the 09 meta. I know some people don't like to look ahead, but set 9 is getting kind of crazy with how many different decks are kind of coming in and out of focus over there. Purple Luffy right now is pretty hot. A lot of people in the beginning, I think we're on Shanks as like best deck in format or trying to make it best deck now. Blue Doflamingo and Purple Luffy are also very popular. Like they were popular before because of the starter decks, but right now it's very, very hot deck to like check out and play. And a lot of lists are very similar and very fun. If you've been a fan of Purple Luffy before, this deck feels so good with the additional Straw Hat stuff in set 9, as well as the starter deck stuff that we were going to be getting very soon. So honestly, this deck, even though it's set 9, you can play the majority of in set 8.5, like once we get these starter decks over here. Now, we've got Purple Luffy. If you don't know the leader, he is a 5-life purple leader, 5k power. And basically, his effect is if you take the top card from your life to your hand, and then if you have 0 or 3 or more Dawn, add a Dawn card from your Dawn deck as active. They specify this so if you're going second, you can't take it on your 2 Dawn turn or your 1 Dawn turn, right? Your first turn, basically, of the game, you can't do this. But from that, we have a lot of 4-cost characters because if we are going first and we get to 3 Dawn, then we can ramp, play out a 4 Dawn character, stuff like that. We get to our top end very quickly. Now, let's get into the deck list. Of course, we got 4 Bond Clay on play, add a Dawn from your Dawn deck as active. And then when attacking, this character, even though they have 1000 power, it matches one of your opponent's characters. So if they have a 10,000 power character, that matches it. 4 cost, 1k counter. Next, we've got Zoro Joro, 2 copies, 3/4. And then when attacking, if you're 3 or less life, add 1 Dawn from your Dawn deck as active. Really want to see this early if we see it, right? Next, we've got a 2k counter, our 5 cost Frankie for Nosuke, right? For 1 Dawn, if you have 8 or more Dawn on your Dawn field, this character gains rush. So you can rush him out if you need to, but we have some better rush characters. Next, we've got another 2k counter, Sanji, the blocker, the 6 cost 6k, 2k counter blocker. His effect probably won't come into play because we won't have that low Dawn. This deck build primarily just gets to the end game fast and doesn't really use like a 10 cost Luffy to get down. So we'll probably not be able to use the effect of if you have, less Dawn than your opponent by the X number, he is a 3 cost character, right? But he is still a 2k counter and a good blocker being 6/6. Next, we've got the new Sanji from set 9, 7 cost, 7k power, 1k counter. On play, you may return 1 or more Dawn from your Dawn deck. This is primarily for the new Luffy leader, but we can still use it. Return 1 Dawn from your Dawn deck. This character gains rush for the turn, then rest up to one of your opponent's cost 6 or lower characters. That pretty much hits every blocker in the game, and he is a 7k rush. Pretty great. Next, we got the Law Searcher from set 9. On play, look at the top 4. Reveal up to 1 cost 2 or greater character with the Straw Hat crew or the Heart Pirates crew type at your hand. So we can use this to search for all of our new Straw Hat characters. Of course, purple decks, we've got 4 Queen, 5 cost, 6k power, 1k counter blocker. On play, Dawn -1. You draw 2, then trash 1. So great cycle. And then again, 5/6 blocker. So pretty good. Next, we've got Usopp from the starter deck, a 2k counter. But also on play, if you have 8 or more Dawn, rest one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. That's actually really good for, 3 Dawn, resting a 5 or less. And he's a 2k counter. Next, we got Onami, 4 copies. 4 cost 2k power, 1k counter blocker. On play, if you have 8 or more Dawn, trash 1 card, and then draw 2. I believe I was hearing somewhere like that you can still draw 2 if you have no cards in your hand. So you can at least go, if you play this out and slash a card, you can still draw 2, I believe. But I'll have to see. And then we've got one of the best cards from the starter deck. This Sanji card, 4 copies. 5 cost, 6k power, 1k counter. When attacking once per turn, if you have 8 or more Dawn, draw 1. 1, we're going to get to 8 Dawn very fast. 2, it's not a cycle, it's just a draw, and he's 6k power. I'll skip ahead real quick to show you why he's so good. The new Luffy from the starter deck, 7 cost, 8k power, right? And then on play, Dawn -1, you play up to 1 purple straw hat crew type character with a cost of 5 or less from your hand. So basically, we ramp into 7 Dawn, we play Luffy and Sanji, and then the next turn, we'll go up to 8 or 9, whichever, and then we'll be able to draw a card with Sanji. That's pretty great. Next, we got 4 copies of our Zoro. 4 cost, 6k power. On play, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 purple straw hat crew type character, and add it to your hand. So he is a 4/6 searcher. So like I said, if we're going first, we go 1 Dawn, 3 Dawn, and then we can ramp with our leader ability, go up to 4, and then play a 4/6 searcher. That's really great. And again, you can use them off of Luffy as well. And then we've got our event, Gum Gum Giant. This is probably one of the best purple events right now for Dawn -2 and 1 Dawn, right? Trash 1 card from your hand. If your leader has the Straw Hat crew type, then give up to 1 of your leader or characters plus 4,000 for the turn, and then draw 2. So honestly, that draw, like trash 1, doesn't really matter. This is obviously going to be a late game type event because you have to Dawn -2. But the fact that it can fix your hand a little bit too, like say you have a dead hand, not a lot of counter. Not only are you getting +4 from this card, but you're essentially doing a reverse queen cycle, right? You're trashing 1, then drawing 2. Pretty great. Pretty great. That's the deck list. I know there's a lot of deck lists out there for Luffy right now. Some are running the 9 cost Big Mom, but as you'll notice, not a lot of them are running too much different stuff, right? Even here, we're not running the 9 cost Luffy. We're just trying to go very wide. I would say the 9 cost Rush Luffy is really good because you draw as well. But honestly, with how aggressive we can be with this deck, keeping our top end around 7 Dawn, like you might not even need that 10k rush, right? But that's the deck list. Let's get into some games, see how fun this deck can be. All right, we've got, ooh, let's go Captain Kidd. Somebody mentioned in one of my other videos that, okay, we want a mulligan probably for our top end, right? There's another card that I missed that you can, okay, this isn't, oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. They can like restand your kid, and then also the event that gives them like plus 5,000 power or something. So we're going to do this for, actually, we'll swing 5 first in case, I don't think he has anything in his deck that will really KO our Zoro, but we will take our top life, and hey, we're starting to fix it. We're getting pieces that can fix it. We're going to take this Sanji, and yeah, because next turn we go to 6 Dawn, we can ramp into 7, and then that plays out these guys. And honestly, that's fine because we have all of our Gum Gum Giants, and yeah, like he said, he just used that event, so. Or no, he used, oh, the ramp, not the plus. Okay, so we're gonna 2k out of this. All right, boom. And a chopper blocker. All right, we're gonna swing 5 and then 6 and then play out our combo. And that's, he's probably just gonna take these few so he can get rid of the leader, the negative effect of his leader ability. If you don't know what Captain Kidd does, here he is on the screen. If he has 4 more life, this leader has -1,000 power for his turn, so it makes it hard to swing. But we're going to ramp, play out Luffy, Dawn -1, play out Sanji, and especially against this deck, he probably won't have anything to really get rid of this. Never mind. Sorry. I should just shut up, right? Yeah, that's, we're gonna let that go. Sheesh. Alrighty. Wow. All right. My bad. We can use Sanji, kind of just rush him down, right? And then maybe keep one up for Gum Gum Giant, because honestly, we're in a pretty good spot to just keep rushing him down. Like, we lost our Sanji, right? And our Zoro. But we can be aggressive. So I'm gonna use card effect. Boom. No optional Dawn. Boom. And then rest his blocker. We're We're going to go 5 at life, or should I just kill his blocker? I think we kill his blocker, just because we're not going to kill him this turn, and I kind of want his blocker to be gone, because I don't have a way to kill it. So I'm going to swing into it, right? It seems stupid, but that means he has to counter out of these higher swings, right? Like, why would you rest his blocker if you're just going to swing into it anyway? It just guarantees that he can't counter out of my 5k swing. He has to counter out of these ones instead. And now he doesn't have that blocker for the following turn. Oof. Luckily, we can kind of defend our stealth, depending on what he swings into. We're gonna... so this one is 6,000. We're gonna do this. Turn it on. Fresh. Ooh. And then buff you. And then we get another 2k, so then we're gonna do that. Boom. And I just went down way too low and Don. Okay. Yeah, we're just because that's 6-9. So I can save one of them. He doesn't have rush. So actually, yeah, maybe I could just dumped it, but now all right. We're not in a rough spot, but we're not in a great spot either. Like one of my first times piling the deck, right? Didn't expect the double Rayleigh coming out. That is aggressive. However, he's still 6k, but I went down and Don too much. We could play out 2 4 costs. We could play out both of, without even using leader building. So I think we're gonna go 5 at life, 6 at life, get a couple of cards out of hand. Boom, boom, 6. Okay, he takes. That's a good sign for us. And then we'll Bonkleg to give us 4 active Don, and then Zoro search. Probably get a sign. And not really too worried about dying this turn. Sanji will help us rush him down next turn. And Sanji is not a dead card in hand. That's like the beauty about this card is so good. He's 7/7, gets rush, rest something, like, and also if he plays out a blocker, I can just rest it, right? Take this first one. We do get counter. I'm gonna counter out of this one probably because I don't know his math for the next one. He might go like an event to buff himself and then also Kid Killer. That could get pretty dicey, so I'm gonna dump most of my hand here. And then he Ben Beckmans. Okay. Right. Wasn't expecting that. I was expecting him to go for game. Because honestly now we can probably just he has one for a rad beam. So we can go 9... 11. Let's go 11 because we might be able to just math them out with 2 swings. Boom. 13. So yeah, rad beam 2k. All right. Ooh, the Goldie Roger. Oh, now that could get spicy. Definitely not the best match for my first one, but I'm learning. All right, what if that was a fun time? All right, but this is probably what you're gonna be. Our opponent takes first, we get second, so we can law. Even though we don't have our big pieces, we can find them all, right? We have 2 Zoros, law, right? But this is probably like the matchup that you're most curious about, right? In terms of the meta. 2 very go wide, very fast decks. However, Luffy has a little bit of an advantage in that our bodies are just a little bit bigger, right? So it's easier for us to kind of maintain the board by swinging into his. However, he does have access to bottom deck effects. We will take the Sanji 7 cost. Could be really good, but we do need this. We do need that to get us more cards. Card advantage is going to be very difficult for this. I could counter out here. But also I want to save my counter to protect my board. He does get the Weevil out, which is unfortunate for me. I think we'll take this. We get a 2K, that's very good. He could also putting us in the future, which is bad. There's a lot of options here, right? Obviously, ramping and playing out Sanji would be good. But I think ramping, playing out Bon Clay is also pretty good. Ramping, playing out Zoro, and then swinging 6 into Weevil, also a definite plan. I do have enough 2Ks to kind of defend my life if I go down to 3. And I kind of want to do basically search and then also see what my life is. So I think we're going to do that. We do need to look for the... We'll take the 2K. We do need to look for the 7 cost Luffy. We do not find it. So hopefully next turn we find it. We have so many 2Ks. He just gives us the 1K, obviously. And then we pass. So it does feel rough when we lose first, especially against Doflamingo, right? He does use the Sengoku search, so... Alright, he gets the Jinbei. So unless he plays out the Blackbeard, the 2-cost Teach, he probably won't be playing out multiple bodies this turn. 5 at us. We will counter 1. Probably just the Bon Clay. Getting a little bit late, so we don't know. Probably not need to ramp as much. Fordon is, he might just hard cast the Jinbei, which also is a pretty good idea too, right? We will 2K here. Probably just the Usopp. Frankie and Sanji have a bit more better use. Although the Usopp could be good to rest a Boa Hancock blocker from the starter deck, or the 3-cost. Right, but this blocker I was talking about, with the 3-cost Doflamingo blocker. But I'm curious why he didn't use this to give a Dawn to swing 6 and 6 or 5 and 7, right? Because he got the Jinbei off of the search, so he knew he had these 2 in hand. So he's just rearranging to the top of his deck. Now with the Boa Hancock, if you don't know what she does, she looks at the top 3 cards to arrange, and then you can give 1 Residon to a 7 Warlords character or leader. So that would have allowed him to swing 6 and 6, you know, require 2 2Ks as opposed to 2 and 1. And we still don't get the Luffy, unfortunately. In this point, we might play Queen to kind of fix our hand and also establish a blocker that can help us against his 5K swings. Probably not even going to ramp here. We could also... No, I think Queen is more immediate. Okay. I don't think we need 3 of these Sanji, so we will trash him. And we will go 6 at Weevil and 7 at Weevil afterwards. Just again, trying to get cards of his hand. He's down to 4 in hand. Although he does have life advantage right now. And he just lets that go. Okay. Right. Then we'll just swing 7 to life. Not going to use leader ability. We'll already be at 8 Dawn next turn, so... Again, our highest cost is 7 in the deck, so we don't really need to ramp. We're not looking for like a Kaido, like the 9-drop Kaido. Although, honestly, I'm surprised that, like, as a couple of copies, wouldn't put him in, knowing how popular Dofi is. You know, something that kills a character, like pretty much any of his characters on play, and then also gains Rush to swing into his board. Could be pretty good to clear board, but again, I guess we're just going for that 7 cost Luffy that we can't seem to find. 6, 7 at us or at... Okay. I will block and give a 2K. Just to give him only one card. And then maybe he'll swing at these anyway. Maybe he'll want to try to kill our board. We'll give... I kind of want to keep Nami on the chance that we can find it. But we also have Zoro. Yeah, we'll counter Zoro. Oh, no. He doesn't have counter. I'm stupid. Yeah, we have Zoro to find our Luffy, right? So we will Frankie and Nami. If anything, we'll just play out the Sanji. And then he plays out the Teach that I was talking about earlier. That you can put one card from your hand to the top of your deck and then attach 2 Rested Dawn. So it allows you to kind of just guarantee what your leader ability is going to be. And then he's going to go 8 and play out a card. This does help us a little bit because he's not just getting a free card from his deck to the board, you know, so he is going down on hand size, unless it's something like a Weevil that's going to guarantee him cards back. All right. Yeah, well, yeah. All right. And we'll give just 2K and a 1K. Unfortunately, I don't want to just waste the 2K when we don't need to. We do get another 2K. That's good. Let's see. We definitely want to clear his board here. We could technically have 9 Dawn to play both the Sanji and the Zoro. But I think we'll just play the Zoro for right now. We find the Luffy finally. So we will not play the Sanji this turn. We will use the rest of our Dawn to hopefully kill his board. So we'll swing 7 at Jinbei. And then attach all, swing at Boa for 8. And he lets that go. Great. And then we'll pass, leave Queen standing as a blocker. And we do have 2 2Ks, and then we have our combo set up for next turn, so we can get pretty aggressive. Hopefully he swings at our board, so maybe we don't have to burn too many cards in hand. Thanks to that Weevil, he's doing pretty good in his hand size. And then he picks up a Jinbei, which again, now he can kind of just guarantee to put the Jinbei to his top of deck with the Teach. This is why we would have loved to just see this a bit earlier. Unfortunately, we just didn't. But next turn, we go up to 10 Dawn, leaving us 3 Dawn past this to kind of swing into his board. And honestly, his board isn't that scary, right? He has the Teach that will continue to let him use his lead ability, right? But he just has a Weevil right now as a character that can kind of swing. So although we're not in the best spot, he's not in the great spot either. Now, honestly, he just needs 1 active Dawn to use leader ability with Teach on the board. So he could Gravity Blade us. That would very much hurt, right? He could get rid of both of our active characters and then just swing into Zoro, and I wouldn't be able to defend it. But given that he just attached Dawn, that means we're safe. I could defend this, but we'll let it go. Because now he has only 6 Dawn, so he could Red Rock something, but I don't think he would right now. I kind of want to keep my hand. Depending on what he swings at life, we might take. Plays out Jinbei. To play out. Unfortunately, he'll have a pretty wide board. Oh, the Gecko Moria to bring back a Jinbei. Right. And then use Teach to play out the Jinbei. But then he would have to get rid of the Teach to play out that second character. So maybe if he swings Attaches 2 Dawn there and then 1 Dawn. So that's an AK swing, right? At life. We couldn't counter out, but also I kind of want to keep my counter because we'll go to 2 life. 7. Okay, I think he messed that up. Unless he didn't want to play it out. Maybe he just wanted to keep... we could have just... oh well. We get the Sanji. That's also good for clearing his board. Oh, that's tough. That's tough to say. I think we do want to combo out our pieces, right? Because we can still clear 2 things. Well, 1 thing, right? And then swing into life. And then we still have, well, 2 2Ks and a 1K and a blocker. So we have 3 Dawn anyway, so we'll swing 7 at Weeble. Hopefully this goes. We know he has a Jinbei. He probably doesn't want to counter out with the Jinbei. Okay, yeah, he just takes. Then we'll go 7 of life. He takes. So either he might just not have a lot of counter or he just wants more cards in hand. Then we'll play out our Sanji. That'll draw us cards. Boom. Our board is very scary right now as we have a bunch of 6K and an 8K body. He is at 3 life with really 3 swings. And we have a blocker, 2 life, and 5K and counter in hand. Although he only has 1 body of ours to swing at. He doesn't have any 6K bodies. He doesn't have the Weevil or any of the Boa Hancocks, right? So he can't just... He has to attach some kind of Dawn to swing into Zoro. I think I'll counter out of 1 of these just to get him to swing into it again. Yeah, I'm kind of just keeping the Sanji to rest a blocker, right? Or we can even just rest whatever he plays out to kind of clear his board, right? The thing about Doflamingo is he doesn't run any rush cards, right? So as long as you can guarantee that he doesn't have a board, which is very hard to do, right? Because he goes so wide. Mathematically, you can know you're safe depending on how much life you're at, right? If he only has like 2 swings, Boa, so we can rest that Boa with our Sanji, then we know he can't kill us. It is kind of tempting to go for game next turn, right? But I think it is still probably safer to clear his board. We will get to be able to draw, which is great. Kind of rebuild our hand. So yeah, probably just 9 at life or at Zoro. He's only going 8. Maybe he's saving it for a searcher, but honestly, at this point with this board, you might not even want to use leader ability, right? Because you're just going to get rid of your teach, unless you don't want it anymore. But 8 at us. I think we clear his board next turn. Do I block this out? And I think we block here. Because also he does have Perfume Fever, right? A lot of decks are running that. Oh. He could swing here. Yeah, right. Yeah, if he just attaches it on. 2. Oh. Ooh. I don't want to take this swing. I don't want to take this swing at all. I think I have to counter. Unfortunately, I think we have to counter out here. Yeah, just unfortunate. Okay, we can leave O'Donnell for that too. We'll play out Zoro to find something. Hopefully, like a 2K. We get a 2K Frankie, and we have. So we don't have the Sanji to rest things, but we have a lot of counter now, right? We have a lot of counter now. Unfortunately, we would have to trash the Frankie, so we have to take 1 life first before we could use that, right? Obviously, we're going to swing 6 for... We have 6 down, so we can swing 7 and then draw. So we'll swing 7 at Gecko Moria, draw into 1k counter, which is good. We don't draw a dead card. I could have swung base 6 of this to try and find another Sanji, right? But yeah, I can't get greedy here. I can't get greedy here. That's all I know. And I can't even swing the law into him, you know. But we'll swing 7 at Jinbei. I kind of want to just swing 3 at him. That might sound silly, but again, like I said, he has no rush cards in the deck. So either this gets us counter or a free block, which then we can just swing into the Boa, which is better. If I'm him, I'm probably just going to let this go. Oh, we get counter. We get countered. I'm going to kill it. I'm going to kill it for the reason that he can't use his leader building, and also to limit the amount of possible swings. It is silly, like he's only 3k power, right? But now all we know to live next turn, all we have to do is counter out of 1 swing. Oh, and now that we have another card from drawing with Sanji, we can use our Gum Gum Giant to +4 and then draw 2. But I don't think we would counter out of the first hit anyway. And again, now our board is pretty scary. Again, 3 6k power and then an 8k power. So even though it took us a little bit longer to get the Luffy combo out, it's still just very... And then he gets the Law, which can bounce one of our Zoros, I guess. If he plays it out to bounce his Sengoku first, right? Which he does. That's fine. He bounces the active one back. But now I can use this to trash the Zoro for counter, keeping in 3k counter in my hand. Because I want to save my bodies right now. But doing that cost him 5 Don, so it was a little bit expensive for him. Like, that was 5 Don just to bounce something back to my hand. We will counter out first with the Zoro Joro. Definitely want to keep the Sanji alive as much as possible. We can just 2k here and then use this, and then as long as we draw into any counter, like say he swings, okay, yeah, cool. He just Boa Hancocks to play. Oh, so we will still have to use this. It's so silly. For a 6k swing, we have to use this. But so 2 Don, trash, buff, and then we get a 2k and a blocker. Great. And again, we'll go 7 at... We're still going to try and clear board. Because we can try to do that while also applying pressure at life. So we draw, get another. Cool. He's just letting things go. Let's see. How much Don do I need for what I want to do? 3 Don left. So that leaves me 5. So I can go 8 because that'll against a 6k body that requires a 2k and something else. Yep. Okay. So yeah, like I said, we swung at. So I still have go 7, 9 life. We have 2 extra Don. So 7, actually 10 at life. Oh, no. Wait, no. I'm stupid. Don't attach any Don. I forgot Nami. I don't know why I thought she was... No, 4 costs. So 4 and 5. Right, so I have just an 8k swing. So we were able to clear his board and then still apply pressure to life. He gave us... Okay, so he's down to 1. We'll play out Nami. Trash Zoro. And we draw another 2k and a queen. That is great. So we have a blocker... 2 2Ks and then a plus 4,000. So mathematically, split all this Don between his 3 characters. I don't think he would be able to kill us even without a blocker. So yeah, I really do like Onami in this deck, I think. You know, just being able to keep cycling out stuff, you know. Unfortunately, you're not going plus in hand size, right? Because you're playing Onami from hand, that's 1 card, and then trashing another, so that's 2. And then drawing 2. So you're just kind of evening out in hand size, but you're kind of trashing, like I got rid of a dead card to get rid of, to get counter, and then also establishing a blocker. She is kind of easy to get rid of, being 4 cost and 2k power, but still something they have to spend on to do so, right? And right now, he has a blocker, which I can rest with 3 Dawn if he doesn't swing with her. So he got a Gecko Moria. Kind of want 2k here. Block out from this. Boom. So maybe he thinks I don't have another 2k. He has 7 Dawn. He's going to want to use that Gecko Moria to probably get back at 2k. But now he rested his blocker too. So if I'm him, I have to... He's bouncing that to bounce my Zoro. Again, that just gives me another target for my... You know, I leave up a Dawn. So you have to assume that I have... Okay, he plays out the Weevil. We actually just have a 2k. Right? I don't need to use this. But I can just to see what cards I get, right? But no, we'll just 2k. Save this, but I don't think it matters too much because now we can just kind of split and kill him. He doesn't have a blocker. We know he has a Gecko Moria, which kind of blanking. I think Gecko is 1k counter, right? But we'll just... Yes. Attach all Dawn, boom, bam. Swing 15 at life, and then 5k life. He might have it, honestly. Maybe we should have left up 1 Dawn, because I can't ramp an active Dawn now. But I don't think he does now that he's down to 4 cards, and yeah, probably doesn't have it. So GG. That is probably one of the like 2 meta decks for set 9, and kind of how it goes in theory, right? We both go super wide. He gets the benefit of doing it earlier, right? And at the ability to not have to take your own life, right? We went down in life pretty low kind of early, but again, our combos are just higher power bodies, so it kind of wins out in the end in terms of clearing board. And then this Sanji, once we get it out, like he's 6k, so he's easy to kind of defend when he swings into, and he's kind of just replacing all counter that we used to defend him by drawing us a card every turn. Pretty great. Yeah, that is the deck list. Such a fun deck. I will say, I love that these leaders are coming back into play. I love that set 9 is seeming to be very kind of fluctuating in a good way, in my opinion, right? We're seeing a lot of different leaders take the spotlight in a lot of different ways. You know, in set 8 right now, we're kind of stale. There's just Lucci, Black Yellow Luffy, and kind of the starter deck 14 Luffy, like 3 black decks really that are just using Gecko Moria. I know Black Yellow Luffy is different because he uses Gecko Moria in a different way, but still at the end of the day, I think people are kind of bored with the set 8 meta, right? But in set 9, it seems to be kind of the opposite. You know, we had a red deck at the foremost thing, and then we've got a purple deck and a blue deck, and of course Lucci is still doing Lucci things. Like Blackbeard is also a pretty fun deck. I don't know if it's super meta, but you know, it's an interesting deck, and probably in the right hands it could do well. You know, it's very nice meta in set 9 from what I'm seeing, and that's great. I think one of these once in the year, like yearly sets where you've got a ton of great hits, you know, we've got like 5 manga cards or whatever. It's like an anniversary set, right? These should be good for the community, for the game, and I like to see it. Luffy, very fun deck. Like I said, kind of different from what we've been playing from before. You know, our highest cost being 7 cost is crazy, but very, very, very fun deck. Again, let me know in the comments what you think of the deck, anything you do differently, would do differently. Tech choices, again, you've got the 9 cost Luffy, you've got Kaido, you've got the 9 cost Big Mom stuff you could add in. What would you do differently for the deck? Let me know. Of course, leave a like on the video, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you all in our next video. Bye-bye.